The dockyard lay silent beneath a storm-dark sky, the air heavy with the smell of salt and rust. CID Officer Aria Locke moved like a shadow, gun raised, every muscle wired with focus. Tonight was supposed to be the night she finally cornered the ghost who had haunted her case files for more than 3 years, an assassin known only as Phantom. He left no trace, no mercy, and no survivors. Except for one memory Aria could never erase, the night her brother died. Lightning sliced the sky, revealing crates, broken machinery, and deep pools of darkness where anything could hide. Her earpiece crackled with distant voices from command, but she tuned them out. She wanted this arrest to be hers alone. Her boots splashed against puddles as she crossed the dock plank by plank, breathing through the tension that clamped her ribs. A metallic clang echoed behind her. Aria spun, gun aimed, heart thundering. A silhouette stepped forward, calm, deliberate, fearless. Black combat gear. Gloved hands. Mask like death's own smile. The Phantom. He lifted his gun at the exact same second she raised hers. 2 hearts. 2 triggers. One impossible moment. CID, Aria said, voice sharp as a blade. Drop the weapon. End it. For a breath, no one moved. Raindrops exploded on metal, on skin, on fear itself. A distant siren wailed across the harbor like an omen. Then he spoke, voice low, familiar, too familiar. Aria. Her blood went cold. That voice was carved into her memories, carved into the parts of her she never let anyone see. No, she whispered. It can't be. The Phantom's gloved hand reached up and tugged the mask free. And there he was. Raven Hale. The man she once loved so fiercely it felt like destiny. The man who vanished the same night her brother was murdered. The man she had sworn to drag into justice or into hell. Her heart cracked open and roared with fury. Raven, she said, every syllable trembling with betrayal. You're the Phantom. Aria, listen to me, he pleaded. Rain streamed down his face, darkening his lashes. Those orders, those missions, I didn't have a choice. Illegal orders are still orders when the people giving them hold everything you care about hostage. You could have refused, she spat. You could have told me. You could have stayed. I left to protect you, he shouted, desperation shredding his calm. The things they threatened, the things they did, Aria, I've been living a nightmare so you could survive. She took a step closer. Gun still aimed at the center of his heart. Her finger tight on the trigger. Love and duty at war inside her. You killed my brother. It wasn't a question. It was a verdict. Raven's jaw clenched. Pain flickered in his eyes like lightning behind storm clouds. I didn't pull that trigger, he said, voice cracking. But I couldn't stop it. And I have to live with that. Her breath hitched. The truth hurt more than a lie ever could. Red and blue lights glimmered over the horizon, backup closing in. Raven's gaze flicked toward them, then back to her. Aria, please. Let me go. I can finish this from the inside. I can destroy the one who ordered your brother's death. Viktor wants your name erased. If they catch me, you're next. The sirens grew louder. Aria's pulse screamed, arrest him. Her heart whispered, don't lose him again. Rain drenched them both as she eased her gun down, slow and tortured. Go, she breathed. Raven stepped back, mask in hand, eyes locked on hers, full of heartbreak and promises too late to save. I'll come back for you, he said. Then he melted into the stormy night, leaving nothing but shadows and a CID officer collapsing under the weight of love-turned criminal. Viktor Draegon's tower pierced the night sky like a blade of black steel. From its top floor, he watched the city as though he owned every street, every heartbeat, every grave. And in many ways, he did. His influence poisoned courts, police stations, even CID headquarters. Everyone bowed to his power, or disappeared. Raven Hale stood in the center of Viktor's vast office, rainwater dripping from his hair onto the pristine marble floor. He had slipped back into the assassin's world, but his heart was still bleeding from the dockyard. Viktor reclined in his throne-like chair, eyes cold, lips curved in a cruel smirk. "You failed to eliminate the CID threat tonight," he said, swirling amber liquor in a glass. "That's unlike you, Raven." Raven didn't flinch, though fear clawed at his insides. "I had no clear shot." "No," Viktor's voice was silk dipped in venom. "You chose not to take it." A screen flickered to life behind him, showing live surveillance of Aria at the docks, holding her gun, searching for the ghost she had let escape. Viktor stood, walking toward Raven with a calm that felt like the moment before execution. "You care for her," he said softly. "Still. After everything." Raven's breath froze. "You will fix that weakness," Viktor continued, leaning close. "Kill her. Or I'll give the order to someone who enjoys making people suffer before they die." Raven's fists clenched. He pictured Aria, her anger, her heartbreak, the way she still looked at him like salvation and damnation at once. He would rather die than put another scar on her soul. But Viktor's next words sliced through him. "She has already been marked. If she doesn't die by your hand, she will die by mine." Slowly. Raven spoke through gritted teeth. "If you touch her, you'll do nothing," Viktor snapped, grabbing Raven's chin harshly. "You belong to me. Every breath you take is because I allow it." Raven lowered his eyes, rage coiled behind restraint. Viktor released him, satisfied. "Go," he ordered. "Finish what you should have ended years ago." Raven slipped into an alley where crimson neon lights flickered like warnings. Aria appeared out of the shadows, gun raised, fury sharp in her eyes. "How did you find me?" she demanded. "I never stopped watching you," he admitted, stepping closer, hands open. "You're in danger, Aria. Viktor wants you dead. You need to disappear tonight." "I don't run from crime," she snapped, stepping into the glow, rain glistening on her cheekbones. "I fight it." "Then run with me," Raven whispered, voice breaking. "Let me protect you this time." Aria stared at him, torn between justice and the man who once destroyed her faith in love. The city noise faded, leaving only their breaths, unsteady, yearning, hurting. "You're still lying to yourself," she said quietly. "You think you can save me when you can't even save yourself." He reached for her hand, she didn't pull away. Instead, she closed the distance, lips crashing into his. The kiss tasted of rain and regret, of love strangled by violence. When she pulled back, her eyes burned with resolve. "If I fall," she whispered, "I'll drag Viktor and every criminal order down with me." Raven held her face gently, knowing he was losing her again to a war neither of them could win cleanly. Dark love was all they had left. And even that was fragile. Tonight, they weren't allies. They weren't enemies. They were two doomed souls trying to protect each other with lies and bullets. The night roared with chaos. Viktor Draegon's fortress, an empire built on greed and corpses, was finally burning. Smoke curled into the sky like a scream, and every hallway shook beneath the thunder of explosions. Alarms wailed. Gunfire ricocheted. Bodies fell. CID Officer Aria Locke pushed through the carnage with the relentless precision of someone who had already lost too much. She didn't bother hiding anymore, the element of surprise had died with the first bomb Raven planted. Now, this was war. Raven moved beside her, silent and deadly, each bullet he fired a rebellion against the years he spent obeying illegal orders. He didn't wear the Phantom's mask tonight. He wanted his enemies to see his face when they fell. They burst into Viktor's private suite, luxury draped over violence. Gold statues. Velvet chairs. Paintings worth millions, all surrounded by gunmen ready to kill for their master. Aria and Raven fought like two halves of the same vengeance. She covered his blind spots, he shielded her from bullets that would have ended everything. In seconds, the guards were dead or dying, and the smoke-filled room fell silent except for their breathing. At the far end, Viktor Draegon remained seated in his throne-like chair, adjusting his cuffs as though the chaos meant nothing. "You've made a mess of my house," he said calmly. Raven and Aria advanced, guns raised. Viktor stood, slow and theatrical, looking at them like misbehaving children. "You think this ends with me in chains?" Viktor scoffed. "I am the law here. Illegal orders are only illegal if someone powerful enough decides they are." Aria's voice cut through the tension. "And I'm deciding right now." She fired, a clean shot that shattered the phone in Viktor's hand, cutting off his desperate call for reinforcements. Raven pushed him to the floor, wrenching his arms back and snapping on CID cuffs, iron biting into a man who thought he could never be touched. Viktor snarled, no longer calm. "You betray me for her," he spat at Raven. "She will never forgive you. She will never love a killer." Raven didn't answer. He didn't need to. Aria's glare was response enough. But Viktor wasn't done. "Do you think I didn't plan for your weakness?" he hissed. "Love is the easiest thing to exploit." Aria heard the click before she understood it, a sniper's scope locking onto its mark. "Raven," she screamed. He didn't hesitate, not even half a second. He lunged, wrapping his arms around her as the glass skylight shattered. A rifle cracked. The bullet tore into him, punching through flesh and bone, and silence swallowed the world. They fell together. Her hands caught his face as blood spilled like ink beneath him. "No. No, stay with me," she begged, voice breaking into pieces. Raven smiled weakly, fingers brushing her cheek. "I promised. I'd come back for you." His breath trembled. "Now promise me, you'll stay free." Tears blurred Aria's vision. "I only ever wanted us free." Her lips met his forehead, warm and shaking. "Don't leave me. Not again." But his eyes were already fading into darkness. As the fortress burned around her, Aria held him, screaming into his silence. The sirens of CID units swarmed outside, too late to save the one person she couldn't lose again. Viktor Draegon was captured. The crime empire would fall. Justice was served. And Aria finally understood. Illegal orders are illegal. Even when obeying them destroys the one you love.